The Festival of Arts Outdoor Mural Project, years in the planning, is now a reality. In 1988, 13 huge outdoor murals sprang to colorful life right before the community's eyes. Our city's buildings became the artist's canvas. Located just 20 minutes from Niagara Falls in the beautiful Niagara Peninsula, Welland is making a dramatic new statement. June 1988, the media and special guests gathered on beautiful Merritt Island where the Welland River and the Old Canal intersect. The purpose of the gathering was to unveil the paintings that would soon become Welland's huge murals and to introduce to the city the specially selected artists from across Canada who would soon be going to the wall to create their masterpieces, stunning in their size and detail. The countrywide search had produced artists with exceptional talent. The stage was set to create the first act of the city's spectacular outdoor art gallery in downtown Welland. The task was awesome, but the results are breathtaking. Daily visitors and residents alike would tour the mural sites and watch with enthusiasm and amazement as the colorful giant paintings slowly took shape. Working from scale models, the artists meticulously transposed their paintings into giant masterpieces, magnified 24 times larger than their original maquette. Some artists could be seen tottering on the scaffolding more than 30 feet in the air, oblivious to the city's routine passing by below them. Each artist set out to depict a vignette from another era, a moment frozen in time by the artist's brush. A common thread of Welland's relationship to the world-famous canal named after the city runs through many of the murals. As the summer progressed, other artists arrived in Welland from across Canada. A sense of camaraderie developed among the painters and the public. Working in temperatures of over 90 degrees, the artists seemed to thrive on the public feedback. Whether working high upon the scaffolding or at ground level, people would stop to talk to the artists. Many residents would reminisce as a nostalgic scene brought back personal memories of their city's past. There was a buzz in the community as the level of activity increased. Car drivers' heads rubbernecked as the mural slowly unfolded. The Road City perhaps will be known in the future as the Mural City as well. By the end of the summer of '88, 13 outstanding paintings, some over 1,300 square feet in size, stood as testimony to the talent of the participants and the perseverance and dedication of the Festival of Arts Committee. Year one of the 5-year Outdoor Art Gallery project was an unqualified success. But what you're witnessing is only the beginning of the story. During the summer of '89, 9 more huge outdoor paintings are being added to our outdoor art gallery to bring to 23 the number of giant murals. Artists from as far away as Chemainus and Coquitlam, British Columbia are participating in the second phase of our mural painting project as they recreate the history and folklore of our canal city. As we move through the second year of our 5-year project to beautify the city of Welland and to turn the cityscape into an art lover's dream, the Festival of Arts continues to receive tremendous media coverage. Our story has been featured coast to coast on the 11 p.m. CTV National News, CBC TV's Midday, CKCO TV, CHCH TV, Global Television, the Toronto Star, the Globe and Mail, Leisure Ontario, the Hamilton Spectator, the CKO Radio Network, and the CBC Radio Network, to mention only a few. Using only the highest quality paint and materials, our historical treasures will last for generations. Participating artists have been specially chosen by an expert jury following a countrywide search. Each mural theme has been researched for accuracy, and each artist who is chosen to recreate his or her maquette submission into a giant outdoor mural is commissioned. Always innovative and resourceful, Welland is forging a new and exciting future on the strength of our past. The colorful history of Welland is proudly displayed in the form of giant outdoor murals. Discover our heritage. It's Welland's gift, and it's absolutely free. Please join us in Welland in 1989 and watch with wonder as another series of vivid scenes of the city's past are brought to life by the magic of the creator's brush.
The Rose City of Welland is embarking on a 5-year project known as the Festival of Arts. The festival's executive director, Rick Woodward, wants to turn Welland into Canada's largest outdoor art gallery. 13 of Welland's buildings are canvases for the murals painted by artists from across the country. The murals are a beautiful addition to Welland, but Mr. Woodward says an economy boost for the city is the prime reason for the project.
We recognize that by the year 2000, tourism will be one of the largest industries in North America. And because we're not attracting large industry into the community, as we move into the year 2000, we believe that we can make a major impact on the future economic viability of Welland.
Welland isn't the only city in the country with this form of a tourist attraction. The Festival of Arts concept was sparked by another Canadian community.
Well, there was a similar project in Chemainus, British Columbia, where it was a small community that was losing its major industrial employer, and they were looking for a way to revitalize the town, and they were looking at a tourism aspect as well. They've got 24 murals today in Chemainus, and they attract over 250,000 people a year into the community. We have taken their idea, tried to improve upon it, and we recognize that with Niagara Falls just 20 minutes away, that even if we bring us 1 or 2% of those people, of the 10 to 15 million people to Welland, we can look at 250 or 300,000 people in our town next year.
Autumn of 1988 was not the end of the mural project. There are future plans for the Festival of Arts.
We have 13 on the wall today, but it is a 5-year plan, and we're looking next year in 1989 to put up 10 more murals. That is all contingent, though, on our ability to raise funds. We're a non-profit organization. All of our funding comes through donations, so it's out to explain to the community the importance of the project, and next year, all things being equal, we'll put up 10 more.
To participate, many artists painted a maquette, a small model of their proposed mural. Only a few were selected to upscale their maquette to mural size.
To be a national event, and so we encouraged artists from coast to coast to submit portfolios and slides of their work. An independent jury selected 19 Canadian artists. They were asked to present a model of a historical theme that we had researched. And from those models, we received 28 maquettes. That same jury reconvened and selected 11 artists, and 2 of the artists did 2 murals. And the artists came from across the country, from as far away as Chemainus, British Columbia, came from Red Deer, Alberta, from Ottawa, from Toronto, from Uxbridge, Montreal, and 4 right here from the Niagara region.
Welland's own Ross Beard painted Upbound at Midnight on the Welland Tribune building and the pond on the LCBO downtown.
Rumors a couple of years ago that they were putting up murals here in town, and then I started reading articles in the Tribune about it. I still wasn't going to enter it because I thought it was a foregone conclusion who would be getting these murals, but I received a phone call from someone involved with the festival suggesting that I do enter it, so I did, and lo and behold, I got picked.
Murals' resistance to the weather was a great concern. Many steps were taken to ensure their lasting beauty.
Well, the paint itself is high-grade paint. It's a 2-part mix. Catalyst is added to it to harden it, and you can use it for painting boats. It's that durable, that waterproof. It has a built-in sunscreen, and you just can't get a better quality paint for outdoor work. And there's a urethane finish on the outside of that.
Once the walls were prepared with their durable thermal sheets, the scaffolding was set up and the artists were ready to begin their work.
Picture of the maquette, actually, to make sure that I had something to work with right on the scaffolding. I scaled that off and worked with it in square yards, increments on the mural itself. Once I got the general background in, though, it wasn't that difficult to put everything in place.
The Festival of Arts was more than just 2 weeks of fun. Creation, that was a festival. Watching the artists on the scaffolds and painting the history of Welland for all to admire.
Civic officials in Welland are convinced that to fully capitalize on tourism opportunities, it's important to get the big picture. So they've commissioned 13 artists from around the country to portray Welland, past and present, on a series of downtown murals. Going to the wall for tourism, the painters are following a pattern set by Chemainus, British Columbia. a small town that has achieved an economic resurrection by adorning itself with 24 murals in the past 6 years.
Actually plant your feet right into the painting itself, and it's a nice feeling as an artist to be able to step right into your own work.
And festival officials are hoping to step right into a new economic era, one in which Welland will be the picture of prosperity.
This is artist Brian Romanelli, and this is about the biggest thing he's ever painted. It's a piece of the history of Welland, Ontario, and it's an attempt, in part, to give the city a new image of itself, and also, in part, to make a buck out of the tourist industry. It's a 50-foot-high symbol of how, in the early 1800s, they dug canals through town to bypass Niagara and open up the Great Lakes. Now the big ships bypass Welland, and the city's getting over a few lean years. So these mammoth murals, 13 of them, are designed to boost civic pride and attract tourists from nearby Niagara.
All you need is a couple of 100 liters of paint, some spare brick wall space, and a lot of imagination. These pictures were taken in Welland, Ontario this summer and fall. 13 huge murals were painted by 11 Canadian artists, which depict the history of the area. It's all part of a 5-year plan to bring in tourist dollars to Welland's declining economy.
The heart of the Niagara Peninsula decided to spruce up its downtown core. The result is a program called Festival of Arts 88. As Bill Brammer reports, the ambitious project has turned Welland into a spectacular canvas.
To tell, and people can not only watch history being made, but also record it. The results are spectacular and give a new meaning to the phrase, painting the town. Bill Brammer, Global News in Welland.
Certainly, Mr. Mayor and representatives from Welland, you need to be commended, not only what is physically happening, but what is happening in the spirit in that community, and have a good season.
Good afternoon. I'm Tracy Libby from Niagara College, and today we're going to be talking a bit about Welland's Festival of Arts with our guest, Rick Woodward. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks.
Could you tell us a little bit about Welland's Festival of Arts?
Well, the Festival of Arts is a creation of huge outdoor murals in our downtown area. 14 were created last summer by artists from across Canada. They came from as far away as Alberta and British Columbia. They work right outside on the scaffolding, creating murals, some of them over 1,300 square feet, and the idea is to turn our community literally into an outdoor art gallery.
All the very best of luck to you.
You too. Thanks a lot, John.
Mike Svav, great mural artist. Get down to Welland and have a look. It'll be really worthwhile. Now let's go back to Thalia.
Few more years before Welland gains a solid reputation as a popular tourist destination. But if this second phase of the Arts Festival is any indication, the city is certainly on the right track. In Welland, Laurent Sabrin, Newsroom 11.
Il utilisait à des fins publicitaires. Il est allé à Welland. On utilise les murs là aussi pour des fins artistiques et par ricochet touristiques.
Welland. Pour les Ontariens, ce nom est synonyme du fameux canal. Mais tout ça risque de changer. Cette municipalité veut se donner des airs de ville artistique.
The city of Welland was about to lose a landmark, a giant mural on the side of a building that is being torn down. The ingenious solution was to move the whole wall to a new location down the street. Construction crews have been working all week to cut the wall away from the foundation and welding a steel frame around the wall to support it. 34 murals now, 10 of them created this year alone. Festival of Arts organizers hope to install so many more murals in the next 3 years that Welland will be known as the world's largest outdoor art gallery.
Lots of people have done a paint-by-number project sometime in their lives, but in Canada they are doing it on a very big scale. Take a gander at what Welland, Ontario thinks is the world's biggest paint-by-number mural. Unveiled this afternoon in the heart of that city. Countless people, including our own Tom Joles, worked on the project, which may be headed for the Guinness Book of World Records. People paid to fill in those spaces with money going to help the Cancer Society.
Liz, gentlemen, we do have a thank you to say, especially to John Van Kooten and Rick Woodward. Rick is executive director, and you are chairman, sir. Thank you very much, both of you. I hope you will find a mutually agreed upon place to hang this plaque. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Rick, just before the show about these murals. John, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, but what I was impressed with is the scope, the ambitious nature of this project. Is this something that you hope will make a significant difference to life in Welland?
It certainly will. This will be the start of an economic miracle for our community, and in 5 years we hope to have 1 million tourists a year here. That's going to put Welland on the map of the whole world.
Rick, you've been involved with this from the beginning. Do you share that optimism?
Greg, I think we already are seeing people coming to the community who have heard about it, even from the Niagara Peninsula, wanting to see the actual artists at work. Once the program is even finished in year one, obviously people will be able to see them forever, but to actually see the artwork going on the walls now is exciting.
You and I were talking earlier that this isn't just an event which you hope to use up the summer months with. This is actually about a 5-year plan, maybe.
That's right. Indeed, 13 this year, and again, hopefully within 5 years we could have 30 or 40 murals and other works of art here in the community.
We will watch as Welland assumes more color and art. Thank you both very much, gentlemen. Rick, you're the handiest there. I'll ask you to press the button.
This now from Chemainus, British Columbia, and Rick Woodward joins us from Welland, Ontario. Judging by how the weather looks, I'd rather be in Chemainus. Carl, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Yes, we have beautiful weather here.
Rick, how about you?
I'm very well, thanks, Peter, but a little chilly here in Welland today.
If I look at that mural behind you, Rick, I think you better do something about that train in the car. It looks like it's just going to be a horrible accident.
Well, the mural depicts the immigrant families that came to the community to help construct the Welland Canal many years ago. You see the picture of the 3 boys. A little boy and the youngsters arrived with his mom and dad, and the youngster grows up to be a dad and takes a wife and has a daughter. And then you'll see the same boy depicted as a grandfather telling his grandchild what it was like coming to the community so many years ago.
Yeah, but you got to get the car off the tracks there. Carl, the mural behind you is the first one ever painted. That really got everything going, didn't it?
That's correct. That was the first mural depicting a spool donkey at work in the forest industry. And that happened in 1982, the very first one, the most important one to us and to many other communities.
Are you surprised, Carl, by how popular it's become?
Not really. The popularity of the murals here in Chemainus, we kind of foresaw that, at least I did, and I think the mayor did as well. But the fact that we now export the idea to other communities, that's overwhelming, really. I didn't expect that at all.
You got the idea from traveling in Europe, right?
Yes, we got the idea when the wife and I traveled in Romania, and we saw some of the monasteries. They had their religious history painted on their walls, and the nuns wisely charged entrance fees to the monasteries, and I thought that was a great idea to come to Chemainus and get the attention of the world to our history.
What kind of help do you give somebody like Rick in Welland, for example? What kind of advice were you able to help him out with as he started his project?
Well, Rick and their committee, we shared all our experience, and we tried to tell them not to make the same mistakes as we did. And a lot of them, believe me, and we are still learning. And this is a sharing project between his community and our projects, and I think learning from each other and sharing our experience is what will be beneficial to both of us, as well as, of course, sharing the project with the visitors to come to Chemainus and then visit Welland and all the other projects, and vice versa. Marketing, that is the benefits of what you call putting the teams together.
Rick, tell me how you organize the whole thing. How many artists? How much paint? How do you get organized?
Well, it was a monster project, and again, Carl is very accurate when you say that he was cooperative and helpful in getting our project off the ground this year. We did 13 murals this year, which was a major undertaking, to say the least. We had artists literally from across Canada submit maquettes or models who wanted to come to the community and be a muralist. The mural that I'm standing in front of was actually done by an artist from Chemainus, Dan Sawatsky, who Carl knows very well, and Dan has done a couple of murals in that community.
Yeah.
The project was a $300,000 project, and all of the money was donated. We're a non-profit organization whose mandate basically is to improve the economic base in our community through the development of a tourist industry.
Is it too early to see whether or not it's had an impact yet?
No, it's not. I can't give you specific figures, but you can certainly see the activity that's been created in the community during the summer and fall. Actually, when the artists were working on the walls, they would tell you the numbers of people that dropped by from out of town who had heard about the project and wanted to talk to some of the artists while they were working. So we've seen a reality of the project already.
Carl, what kind of mistakes has Rick been able to avoid based on your experience? I would think that you'd have to use a special kind of paint and experiment with the paint, do you?
Well, the paint is, I think Rick is using a different paint than we do. We use acrylics and let the wall breathe. And I think Rick is using a different paint. However, we want to learn from him.
Rick, what kind of paint are you using in Welland?
Well, we used a paint called acrythane, Peter, which is the same type of paint that's used on jet aircraft. It's actually a catalyst, two different components mixed together. And when the paint hardens, it's almost like a rubber compound.
So it weathers okay?
Well, that was the key, obviously. We didn't paint our murals right onto the building blocks or brick. We put a special covering onto the walls called the therm wall. And then the artists used this acrythane paint.
Carl, you've been as far away as Australia, I understand, selling this idea. Where are you going to go next? Have you had any other invitations?
Well, we're looking to Europe and Japan, definitely. And once all those places have their murals and a number of them, like Welland, for instance, then we'd like to set up a program where we visit each murals around the world. And I think that's a great experience for art lovers.
What a great idea. Then you can come and work on my hallway, all right?
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Carl.
It's been my pleasure indeed.
All the best. Thank you, Rick.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Peter.
Bye-bye.
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 The most expensive art collections may be found in Paris or Rome, but the largest certainly belongs to Welland. The Niagara community owes its heritage to the man-made canal that gives passage to ships between the Great Lakes. But lately, the real attention is being paid to a sizable investment in art. They are aptly named the Giant Murals of Welland. Some of the 28 works reach 3 stories in height and span the length of half a football field. Using buildings as their canvas, selected Canadian artists dip their brushes deep into the city's colorful past and painted in broad strokes. The self-guided tour through this outdoor gallery can be as educational as it is engaging, and it's hard to refute that even when art is bigger than life, it can still imitate it, especially when it stares you right in the face.
Sunday AM.
In its glory days, the city of Welland was a thriving metropolis with a booming steel industry and steady canal traffic. Then the recession of the early 80s hit, and the city has spent almost a decade trying to get back on its feet. A new artistic initiative seems to be brightening the city's future. Sunday AM's Steve Simic was in Welland to investigate.
Lift bridges that haven't been in operation for years. Smokestacks that stand as statues of an industrial era gone by. Like many cities across Canada, Welland fell hard in the economic recession of the early 80s. A glut in steel prices and decreased traffic on the seaway resulted in a downturn in the city's economy. But the city is undergoing a transformation as it shifts its economic focus.
It's visually easy to see that an effect is happening just by walking or driving our city streets and seeing the people out there with cameras.
Main streets, the attraction isn't obvious. A look to the left or right explains the excitement. Reflections of the city's past and present painted on buildings large enough for all to see. Tell me about the olden days, depicting the arrival of immigrants in 1910. Upbound at midnight, a night scene featuring the ship Arundel proceeding along the Welland Canal to Port Colborne. It's known as the Festival of Art and was initiated last year. So far, 24 of these murals line the streets, and several more are planned over the next 3 years. Artists from Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver, and Welland's own come to add their distinct style to the city's street front.
You can work on an easel painting for a long time and nobody ever sees it, and nobody ever gives you any feedback. There's a public response to something of this size that's sort of overwhelming. People can't help noticing it just because it's so big.
While it's too early to see if the murals have had an impact on tourism in the city, the executive director of the Festival of Art is confident the historic scenes won't go unnoticed.
We're 20 minutes from the falls where 15 million people a year visit, and who are looking for other things to do while they're in the falls, other interesting things to see. We figured, man, that this could really be a major project for our community.
As well as going for the tourism buck, the murals have helped to inspire renewed community spirit. Recently, an unveiling of the 24th mural was held in front of an enthusiastic audience. Involving over 800 artists and measuring 130 by 9.5 feet, this mural was painted by the citizens of Welland. The city hopes the Guinness World Book of Records will recognize the mural as the largest paint-by-number painting in the world, with the second record of the most number of people having painted the mural. Depicting the diverse ethnic background of Welland, the mural sees 10 flowers representing the countries from which the immigrants had arrived.
The idea about a year and a half ago in watching the flame go across Canada to the Calgary Olympics. And in that way we saw that if you can get that number of people to get involved with sports by carrying a flame, we could get the people of Welland involved by painting in a paint by numbers, so that you take a little bit of the mystique out of artwork.
It has developed a whole new sense of pride, I think, among Wellanders, and even the skeptics who earlier in the program thought paintings on walls, they really didn't understand the concept, and that indeed it would attract people to the community. They're now the first ones, when they have visitors from out of town visiting their own homes, they're the first ones that, I've got to take you out and show the murals.
With the backing of the city's residents, community leaders hope the artistic brush paints a clear message that Welland is once again open for business. For Sunday AM, I'm Steve Simic.
Welland has always been known as the Rose City, but since 1988, this relatively small community has earned global recognition as the mural capital of the world. Artists from across Canada have created these giant outdoor artworks, some measuring 60 feet long, while others are 3 stories high. These permanent masterpieces now number 24 and are visible from every street corner in Welland. Each depicts the city's rich heritage. The arrival of immigrants at the train station around the turn of the century, and Welland's agricultural history. This mural shows 3 generations of farmers, each carrying on the tradition. Many murals, such as this one painted by Welland artist Ross Beard, shows the important role the early Welland Canal played in the city's growth. The Festival of Arts is busy organizing this year's murals program. With new murals going up this summer, there's always something to do for the people behind the scenes. The man in charge of organizing the project is Festival of Arts director Rick Woodward. How did the idea for the murals start?
The mural idea came back to us from Chemainus, British Columbia. Ernie Allen, the owner of the Seaway Mall, had visited that small community on Vancouver Island, had seen the mural project that they had initiated there, was so enthused and excited about it, brought the idea back, and actually commissioned the first mural, which is seen on the front of the Seaway Mall, which was built in 1986.
How do you go about selecting the artists for the murals?
We have a countrywide competition where we invite artists to submit slides of their work. An independent jury looks at those slides and selects the artists they deem who have the artistic ability to enter the second phase, which is the actual construction of a mini mural or a maquette on a predetermined historical theme. Then they reconvene again and select from those submissions which artists will be invited to the community to actually transpose their mini version out onto the walls.
What's in store for us this summer?
We hope to do another series of murals. We hope to do at least another 3 murals on walls in the community this summer. We want to do diversify the project a little bit this year. We're calling it a sailing banner project, which would see approximately 10 banners sailing along the canal area, representing a decade of shipping on the old Welland Canal. We're looking to beautify the downtown area with a profusion of outdoor flowers this summer, which will augment the beauty of the murals. So we certainly will have another busy summer in 1990.
One of the most unique murals is the Paint by Numbers mural. How'd that idea get started?
The Paint by Number mural got started because we wanted to physically involved the community. It was one thing to stand and to watch the actual murals coming to life before the community's eyes with the artists on the scaffolding, but another to actually get the community to dip a paintbrush into a can of paint and have an opportunity for them to participate. That's how it got started, and today we have that beautiful mural on the Lincoln Center in Welland. It depicts 10 flowers which signify the various ethnic cultures which had come together in Welland to build this community.
One of the most unique murals is the stained glass looking portrayal of a variety of wagons at the turn of the century. It points out the importance of horse-drawn vehicles to Welland's history. This 30-foot mural, again featuring horses, shows the massive engineering task of digging the old Welland Canal in 1824. And it shows the cooperation it took between man, machine, and animal to accomplish the job. Welland has a lot of things to offer tourists around the city. The Festival of Arts mural program is definitely becoming the most popular. Whether you walk or drive, these murals help brighten up the city and provide us with a glimpse into the rich history of Welland's past. It's a great way to spend an afternoon, and the best part, it's free. For the Niagara Journal, I'm Patty Barron.